And it is time to get started. Hey, welcome to AtTheTrack.live. I am Coach James. I am the creator and lead instructor for All About Aerodynamics. What is All About Aerodynamics, you ask? Glad you asked, even if you didn't ask. All About Aerodynamics is a science program where I use Hot Wheels cars to teach kindergarten through 6th grade students about a range of science and physics related topics, including but not limited to friction, force, aerodynamics, drag, lift, Isaac Newton and his 3 laws of motion, kinetic energy, potential energy, elastic force, a whole range of topics. After we've covered the science and conducted experiments to drive home those concepts, then and only then do I bring in about 400 different Hot Wheels cars, and each student has the opportunity to select a Hot Wheels car they think would be fastest in a series of races based on everything they've learned in the class. Once they've selected their cars, they examine their cars, they weigh their cars, they test the speed of their cars, they check the year the car was manufactured, the materials the car is made from. All of that information they can observe, they enter into a spreadsheet. Once they've collected all that information, then there's nothing left to do except set up a 1/64th scale quarter-mile drag strip and have a tournament and race the cars. The students observe how their cars perform. Did their cars perform up to or below their expectations? And if they had the opportunity, would they select those cars again? Or would they make a different selection based on everything that they have observed? In the end, we have fun with Hot Wheels cars and we learn science. What could be better? If you would like more information about All About Aerodynamics and how to bring our science program to your school or your organization or your special event, you can go to our website, AAAerodynamics.com, or you can follow us on Instagram at AAAerodynamics, and all of the information you need will be right there, and you can contact me if you have any additional questions. But this is not All About Aerodynamics. This is All About Aerodynamics presents AtTheTrack.live. So, what is AtTheTrack.live? Well, before I can bring in all 400 cars for students to use in their experiments and their races, I have to make sure that I know exactly which cars I'm bringing in so I can take those cars back, have them in the exact right place so that they're ready to go for the next group of students. And what that means is before I can bring in cars for students to use, I have to make sure that I've cataloged the cars, that I've numbered the cars, that I have all the information I need. And AtTheTrack.live gives me that opportunity to go into storage, grab Hot Wheels cars that I bought but haven't cataloged, crack those open, get a picture of the cars, get a short video, do a little review, and then those cars are all ready to be entered into the fleet for the students to use. But since we already have the cars and the track is already set up, we have a little mini tournament with the new cars. But wait, there's more. There's an opportunity for you to participate. All you have to do is go to AtTheTrack.live, and there are 3 options. One is the YouTube stream link, one is the Twitch stream link, and the third option is Choose Your Car. When you go to the Choose Your Car link, you will be taken to this page. And on this page, you will see all of the cars that are currently in the All About Aerodynamics AtTheTrack.live fleet listed and numbered. There are currently 938 different cars that are in the fleet. 938 different cars for you to choose from. All you have to do is find the car that you think would be faster than the cars that I have introduced, and you take the number. So let's say you're thinking car number 411. So then you just scroll on down through all these cars. We have all kinds of cars. We have cars that are fantasy cars. We have cars based on real cars. We have character cars, Batmobiles, old school cars, new school cars, tanks, ducks, spiders, dinosaurs, alligators, all kinds of things. But if you're looking for car number 411, that would be this one. The Lamborghini Murcielago LP670-4 SV. So you could click on it, you can take a closer look at the car, and you can decide if that is in fact the car that you want to go with. If it is, then all you have to do is take the number of that car, in this case 411, and drop that into the chat. I will pull that car, and boom, you are ready to race. And if Lamborghinis are your thing, we've got plenty of those just right here on this page. We've got the car number 409, the Lamborghini Huracan LP610-2 Super Trofeo. We have car number 414, the 2016 Lamborghini Centenario Roadster. There are more Lamborghinis than that. And just scroll through and you will find them. Whatever style, type of car. If we don't have that exact car, we've got a car that's pretty similar. Maybe you like this 1986 Monte Carlo SS. I like this car. Really good looking car. And if that's what you want, boom. All you have to do is take the number, drop it in the chat. I will pull the car and we will be ready to go. Character cars. There aren't too many that are like this. I mean, we have some character themed cars, but this one is unique because the character is actually in the car and sticking up out of the top of the car. So that's the Black Panther car. It's a little different. There are a handful of Matchbox cars in here. We've got this. We've got another character car, this Little Mermaid Ariel car. And if that's the car that you want to pick, you're welcome to do that. This isn't a bad pick. Usually the character cars have some issue and reason why they're probably not the best picks. This is a pretty good, solid pick. That back end is going to make it a little tough for it to be, to get a good, solid launch consistently. And because one thing you have to watch out for is with the character cars, they're usually more premium cars, which means they use better materials, meaning more metal. And more metal on the cars is going to make them heavier. And heavier cars on our track don't tend to do as well, but it's one of the trade-offs. So we've got those character cars. Hey Virgo, how you doing? Yeah, any kind of car you can think of we have. And because the search function doesn't work, Squarespace, the company that hosts the website, has not decided they're going to fix the search function. So you pretty much have to scroll through and look at the cars. But if you happen to know the name of the car that you're looking for, you can just tell me. I can check the master spreadsheet and let you know if I have it. If I don't, I'm going to go looking for it because always looking to test out new Hot Wheels cars and try and find that ultimate fastest Hot Wheels car. And if you happen to pick a car that beats out all the other cars that are introduced and beats out any other cars that viewers pick, then you will have the opportunity to take on our fastest in-fleet car, which is currently the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet and is currently this car. It is the BlitzSpeeder. It is the fastest Hot Wheels car on the planet. It is our 3-time champion, and the fact that it's 3 times a champion means that it has lost at least twice. And that's been the case. It lost to the Gazella R after 17 weeks as champion last year. And then it beat the Gazella R in a rematch earlier this year and was champion for about another 6 months until it ran into the Dogfighter. The Dogfighter, I still can't explain how it did what it did. The Dogfighter beat the BlitzSpeeder, came back. I made a modified adjustment thing to the track. Dogfighter beat the BlitzSpeeder again, just confirming that it was faster. Then, hey, Roughshod, just about to bring you up, of course. Roughshod picked the slide kick. The slide kick beat the Dogfighter. The Dogfighter was out. Slide kick was in. Slide kick went up against the BlitzSpeeder, lost clean to the BlitzSpeeder, and now the BlitzSpeeder is back. 3rd run as champion, and we are going to see if we can knock the BlitzSpeeder off, because now, like I said before, the BlitzSpeeder for a while, it was kind of like Mike Tyson in the early years. If you're a boxing fan or you remember back then, Mike Tyson would just come in and the opponents were just, you could tell that they were afraid, and people were getting knocked out, and he was just mowing through people. But once Mike Tyson got knocked out, once Buster Douglas beat him, once he got knocked out, that aura of invincibility was gone. It wasn't there like it was. And with the BlitzSpeeder, it used to be almost no contest. You knew the BlitzSpeeder was going to win the race. But now the BlitzSpeeder's been beaten a couple of times, and while it's still the champion, it just makes me think that of those 938 cars, we're going to find some that are going to beat it. So we've got a couple of picks. Roughshod made his pick on Wednesday. Christopher made his pick on Wednesday. Never Ending made a pick on Wednesday. And so we've already got 3 cars lined up to potentially take on the BlitzSpeeder. All those cars have to do is knock out the cars that are introduced today, that I introduced. So we are going to see which cars those are. And I have, well, the reason why we're getting started late is because I was at the Hot Wheels Legends Tour, and it is a chance for custom car builders to win a contest and win a tournament to have their cars turned into Hot Wheels cars. So the stop in El Segundo at the Mattel Hot Wheels headquarters is the last stop on the tour. So they're going to pick a winner today, and that will be the El Segundo winner. And then that winner will be entered into the final competition with the other cars that won at the other stops on the tour. And then they get judged and they select the winner. And I believe that they do the selection show. The final selection show is on, it's on, I've seen it on Facebook. They probably do it on YouTube as well. But they usually have a panel of like celebrities. Jay Leno is on there, and some car builders and this and that. And they go through each of the winning cars and talk about whatever the story is behind those cars. And then they make their final selections and announce, excuse me, they announce which car is the winner. And the winning cars have there's a little badge on the packaging it's a yellow and black thing that says Hot Wheels Legends winner, Legends Tour winner, something like that. And it'll be interesting to see if one of the cars we saw today is the winner. Now, most of the cars there were a lot of, they kind of have a combination of it's a car show and the custom build show. And there were a lot of just car show cars. So regular cars that people have modified with different aftermarket parts. And they were really nice, like paint jobs, the wheels, everything, all the little extras that they put on those cars. But there didn't seem to be as many cars that were unique, where you look at it and you think like, oh, whoa, okay, what is this? But there were a few, and I'll be curious. I'll check on the Instagram account, or maybe it'll happen, because I believe they did the final selection at about 1 o'clock, so about an hour ago. And it should be announced on their website pretty soon which car won today. And I'll be interested, because I think when I was walking around, I took video of just about every car that was there, and we'll see which one. There was some, the craziest ones. There was a Volkswagen Beetle that had, how do I explain it? The outer part of the car was like wrought iron fencing, so you could see through the car. It had the shell and the body of a regular Beetle, a VW Beetle, but you could see through it. And so that was kind of interesting. There were some other smaller cars with huge engines just like crammed in there. But we'll see which ones. They also had some of the custom cars out there. that Darth Vader car. They have the full-size version of it, the X-Wing car, the Twin Mill, the Diora 2, a bunch of the, what's that main one? The, oh man, it's the one they're always talking about. The, it's a little bucket rod car. I don't know why I can't think of it. But anyway, it's that main Hot Wheels open wheel car. I know the name will come to me at some point. Anyway, they had a lot of cars there, and so I will put that video. I will make it available if it's not already later this afternoon. You can scroll through and see what we saw, and by that point, by the time I put it live, we should know which car came out on top and won. There were two Ghostbuster themed cars. There was one that was just a wild, it was like a monster truck / gasser / station wagon that was just, the name of that car, it's the Bone Shaker. There was the Twin Mill, they had that, and then the Bone Shaker is the one I couldn't think of. But this Ghostbusters car, it was pretty wild. I don't think that would necessarily win, at least probably not as a Ghostbusters theme car, but it was pretty wild. What else? What else was there? They had a car that was essentially so at Disneyland they have this ride called Autopia, which is just these little cars, and you sit in them, and there's usually like a lawnmower engine in the back, and they just go down a track on a rail, and it's for little kids. Well, somebody got one of those cars and put a real engine in it and turned the Autopia car into an actual drivable vehicle. So there was a Knight Rider car, but of course there's already one of those in the Hot Wheels lineup, so who knows. There were saw some of the Ferraris on display, some of the ones that are going to be coming out into stores pretty soon. If the collectors don't beat us to the pegs, but those look pretty good. They did, the designers were there, and I'd been saying that I wanted to ask them about how they determine which cars get a lot of detail and which ones don't in the mainline unit, but the line was just ridiculous, and I wasn't going to stand in that. I'd rather just get some footage of and take a look at all the different cars. So I'll put that the footage up right after I finish here. Oh yeah, the AutoZam. Yeah, the AutoZam was one of the winners. So it's good that those cars get turned into mainline cars, because that means that there's a possibility that I could buy them and we could race them on the track. They had a Hot Wheels show on Peacock, I guess at this point about 2 years ago, where they had people, it was a competition, and they did these custom car builds, and the winning car got turned into a Hot Wheels car. So right after the show, I went online and ordered the car, and about a year later it showed up, and it's cool, but it's got rubber wheels, so I can't race it on the track, too much friction. So that's that. But yeah, the Hot Wheels Legends Tour was a lot of fun, and I really am curious to see which car comes out on top. But we're going to find out which car is going to come out on top today, because we do have cars to race, and we have some new cars to introduce. And one of those cars is, let me see, is this one, which I know we don't have because I'd never seen it before and I just picked it up. This one, it's called Decidedly Go, and it is a Magic 8-Ball themed car, and there's a little window on the bottom. Now I think this one's a little different because it's got the Magic 8-Ball, like, it's not a, I don't know what it is. I guess it's a dye in here. But there's no liquid, so it doesn't really do the whole Magic 8-Ball thing, but you get the idea. And this one, let's see. Decidedly Go, born in 2024 in El Segundo, California, designer Hot Wheels. Signs point to fast for this classic toy, brilliantly reimagined as a Hot Wheels hot rod. Rev the engine for some speedy shaking, because Decidedly Go is without a doubt the fastest fortune teller on 4 wheels. So let's crack this open and take a look. So with this, it's clear on the bottom, so you can shake it up, ask it a question. Is the BlitzSpeeder going to remain the fastest car in the fleet today? Well, how do I... it came up as yes, is what the answer is. So there's a bunch of different possibilities, but this car, which is going to be competing to try and beat the BlitzSpeeder, the answer came up as yes. So we know the BlitzSpeeder weighs 32.4 grams. This Decidedly Go weighs in at 30 grams. And let's go ahead and put it up here. All right. And switch over to the, take a look at this one, the Decidedly Go. And this is it, and I'll show you the bottom. This is bottom here, and it's got this little thing in here. And so some of the answers, I think all the answers are probably the standard kind of Magic 8-Ball answers, but I guess you could shake it up, but you either have to raise the car up and look through the bottom, or you flip it over and hope that the die doesn't roll away. But this is the Decidedly Go. And let's go ahead and take a look at this. We will find out, Christopher, we will find out how much that the car you picked, that Beach Patrol, weighs. It is going to be, it's going to be heavy. My prediction, if I had to guess, I'm guessing that that thing is going to be at least 50 grams. I'm thinking. It's because there was another pickup truck, the one with the snowplow, and we did weigh that one, and that one was really heavy. The Beach Patrol truck was smaller than that, so I think my guess would be about 50 grams. We'll see. This is car number 939. This is the Decidedly Go. And, yeah, what do I think? Do I think this will be fast? I just don't think so. But it all depends on the matchups, because we have at least two fantasy cars racing today that I can't really tell what they're going to do. We put them in the wind tunnel, and it's hard to tell. With some of these fantasy cars, they're so, the shape and design is so strange that putting it in the wind tunnel doesn't really help it all that much. I mean, it doesn't help us to know much more about how the car is going to perform. With some more traditional cars, then it gets a little bit easier, but let's switch this here and zoom on in right there. And now we have let me get a little highlight on it. There we go. The Decidedly Go is now in the fleet. It is car number 939 as we sort of creep closer and closer to our 1000th car. The Decidedly Go. So we've got that one ready to go. And let's see, what else do we have? What else do we have in store? I don't remember. Well, I know I have one of these. I just don't know if it's in the fleet. But I picked up this chill mill. I have one that it's white, I believe. And it's more like an ice cream truck theme. But let me double check the spreadsheet. This is probably one of those cars that I just picked up another version of it because it's cool. Number 115. So that means there's already a chill mill in the fleet. I don't know that it's ever been picked. I don't think that any of the students would go out on a limb and pick it because, yeah, here it is. Yeah, we got that one. I kind of like this one better, but it is a duplicate, and I'm trying not to have duplicates in the fleet unless there's some significant difference, and I don't really see one with this. The tires are colored differently, but they're not altogether different tires. So I guess this chill mill is going to end up in the prize bin with some other cars from the past. Let's see. I also picked up, I don't remember if it was, oh man, there was somebody who kept picking police cars a while back. So now every time I see one, I just pick it up. I've got this 2023 Dodge Charger Pursuit cop car. And let me just check the spreadsheet, make sure I don't already have one of these. This would be a 2023. We do not have one. Let's see. Thank you, Christopher Beyblader. Yeah. He picked just about every cop car that I had in the fleet. Let me check 23. No, we don't have it. All right, cool. So this is going to be car number 940. It's a Matchbox, so we're always waiting for a Matchbox car that's going to really get in there and make a statement and be one of our top cars. That hasn't happened so far yet, but you never know. This might be the time. So let's go ahead and crack open this 2023 Dodge Charger Pursuit. And as I've mentioned before, I don't like the fact that they don't show you what the actual car looks like. You just get this sort of artistic rendering of it, but we'll see. Crack open the little box. They come wrapped in a little tissue paper. And there it is. All right, nice looking car. Let's see, what does it weigh? Weighs in at 37.3 grams, so it's just a little bit above the ideal weight that we are typically looking for. Let's switch views over to here. And here we go with this one. I think I'm going to drop in the lighter colored background just so we can have some contrast there. Get a better look at that car. And I don't know. I still don't know what it is about the Matchbox cars, why they're not as fast as the Hot Wheels cars. And maybe it's intentional. Maybe Mattel doesn't want to mix up their brands. They need Hot Wheels to stay. Since Hot Wheels were established, the whole brand was established with the idea of making cars that were faster than the die-cast cars that were out at the time. Maybe Hot Wheels just needs Hot Wheels cars to remain faster, even though they own both brands. And the Mattel cars tend not to be fantasy. I mean, the Matchbox cars tend not to be fantasy cars. They're usually straightforward interpretations of the actual cars, and that's what this is. This 2023 Dodge Charger Pursuit. And I mean, there's nothing remarkable about this car. Pretty much just standard. It is a little narrow, but I think Matchbox cars, since they're being true to the actual cars that they're supposed to be representing, they're not wider like Hot Wheels cars. I know Hot Wheels cars tend to have be a little bit wider, have the proportions adjusted a little bit because it makes them look cool. And obviously it's worked, because if you just tell somebody, if you go up to any random person and say, hey, do you like Matchbox? They might not know what you're talking about. You tell somebody, do you like Hot Wheels? Whether they like Hot Wheels or don't like Hot Wheels, they know what you're talking about. And I was at a science conference with all of these teachers and administrators and people like that. And when they came by the booth and took a look, I didn't have to explain Hot Wheels, which is why on all my materials and stuff I say that Mattel hasn't endorsed the program or anything, but it's the same reason why you can say, you say Coke and people know what you're talking about. Kleenex, even though it's tissue. Just things like that, like Hot Wheels. When you say Hot Wheels, people know what you're talking about. So, but Matchbox, I don't know why they're not as fast. There's got to be something that they're doing in terms of the materials or something, because they're just not as fast. And I don't expect this one to be any different. I expect it to also be not as fast. So we're going to see what we get. So we've got this Dodge Charger Pursuit car. We have the Decidedly Go. What else do I have around here? I was going through and I found a bunch of cars that I had duplicates of, so those had to go. We've had this Rapid Transit, which you can't see because it's green, and there is a green screen. I think I looked through this bin, which had the last of the cars that we didn't add to the fleet. What's this one? We have a Honda Civic SI. If we don't already have one of these in the fleet, I'd be shocked. Because it just seems like such a basic car to have. Honda. We have a Honda Racer, which is not this. We really don't have just a Honda Civic. There's a Honda S800 racing car, a Honda Sprocket, and a Honda Racer. Other than that, any other Hondas have a year associated with them. This one doesn't, so I guess this one's going in. The Honda Civic SI. So let's go ahead and weigh this one and see what we've got here. The Honda Civic SI is coming in at 39.2 grams. So until we get to that beach patrol, this is, let me double check, 39.2. This is going to be our heaviest car so far. Let me switch this view so you can take a look at it. Pretty straightforward, just a Honda Civic SI. They don't have a year indicated, but I'll be able to look that up. I'm surprised, again, it's just a pretty basic car, and since it's loose, that means I probably bought it. It probably came in like a 5-pack, and there was some other car in the 5-pack that I wanted, and this one just ended up getting set to the side. But not anymore. Now it's getting its chance to hit the track, see what it can do. Civic SI, and see if it can become fastest in fleet. And so this is another one where they painted the little Civic logo. They painted the Honda badge on the back. They did the tail lights. You know, it's just the little details that make this car stand out more so than if they had just left it all just being blue. And even with the headlights, the little sticker on the headlights is shaded in a way that makes it look kind of dynamic, like it's actually on. They got that Honda logo in the front painted, so they can do it. It's just they don't do it, or maybe there's just certain deals. Maybe Honda said, yeah, you can make our car into a Hot Wheels, but you know, we need you to make it look really good. So we need the special headlight treatment. We need some tail light paint, all that. So I don't know how the negotiations go, and I really would have liked to ask one of those designers, but like I said, that line was just too long. So hopefully at some point in the future, you know, maybe there might be a Mattel Hot Wheels All About Aerodynamics collaboration, and maybe then I'll get to ask my question. But for now, it will remain a mystery. And we now have another car in the fleet. Honda Civic SI. What year was this manufactured? 2000. So, let's see. We have the Decidedly Go. We have the Dodge Charger Pursuit. And we have the Honda Civic SI. So we are quickly filling up our roster for today. If there's a car that you would like to select, you can go to AtTheTrack.live and select the Choose Your Car option. And when you do that, you will be taken to a page that has all 938 cars currently in the All About Aerodynamics At The Track Live fleet listed and cataloged, ready to go. All right, let's see. Go back here and see what cars we have available to choose from. There is, and I have another Matchbox car. I guess there's one way to do it. If you flood the tournament with Matchbox cars, you're more likely to have a Matchbox car as the winner. Maybe. Let me check to make sure we don't already have one of these. The Karma G56 doesn't sound familiar. I think we have a Karma Fisker, maybe. I could be totally off. Let's see, the Karma. We have a Karma Revero, and that's it. So now we're going to have a Karma G5-6, which is a Matchbox car, but we're still going to race it anyway. So let's crack this open. This one doesn't want to open up. Come on, there we go. All right, let's see. This one really didn't want to open up. All right, let's see what this car weighs. It doesn't feel all that heavy. And it comes in at 32.4 grams. So 32.4 grams is what the Karma G5-6 is weighing in at. It is a Matchbox car, and it's a Matchbox, so you know what that means. It's Saturday, you know what that means. Let's see. Here we go. We have this one. And yeah, I'm going to drop that background in. See a little bit more definition. Now what I do like is that they have the sort of clear sunroof situation. Going from front to back, and I presume that's how the real car is, but I don't recall seeing a clear from windshield and roof on on any of the cars before that. All right, so let's take the still picture before we enter this one into the fleet, and it becomes available to be picked. Although it just seems, now it would be surprised, I'd be surprised if this car had a really great performance. I hope it does, because then it's the kind of car that it's so, I don't want to say basic and boring, but just pretty plain, and I can't see many students choosing this. But there's always a possibility. Get this locked in. All right, and go ahead and add this car to the fleet. This is car number 942. This is the Karma G5-6. And I don't see anything about this car to make me think it's going to be really fast or that it's going to be really slow. I think the fact that it's a Matchbox car doesn't give me a lot of confidence that it's actually going to win in the end. But since we have two Matchbox cars in the tournament, that increases the odds that a Matchbox car could possibly take the tournament. So we are going to find out. And coming around here, boom. All right, we have our little video of this car. We have the still pictures. We have the Decidedly Go. We have the Dodge Charger Pursuit. We have the Honda Civic SI. We have the Karma G5. Now we also have cars that were selected on Wednesday. And those cars include this one, Christopher's pick. It is the Beach Patrol pickup truck. And we're going to find out. This is a car that I had when I was a kid. And I played with it. And it was, it didn't get too beat up. It's been played with, but the wheels roll well. The axles are not bent, so that's going to work just fine. The big question, because this is an older car, this car is not plastic on metal. It is not metal on plastic. It is metal on metal. So let's go ahead and answer the big question. Find out what this weighs. I think it's at least 50 grams. Over or under? Do you think it's going to be over 50 grams or under? Let me know. And I'll wait until get a little feedback before I actually put it on the scale and reveal what that weight is going to be. Roughshode's going 59. It is, I mean, we're looking, like I said, it's metal. It's a truck already. So that's going to make it heavy. Metal on metal. And it could very well crack the barrier. Now, let's go ahead and check it out and see. I say at least 50 grams. The Beach Patrol that was manufactured in 1982 weighs in at, oh, look at that. We're both a little wrong. 46 grams. So it's not light. It's not light by any stretch, but 46 grams is a lot lighter than what I was thinking. Obviously, I said 50. Roughshod had it at almost 60. So there we go. The Beach Patrol is coming in at 46 grams, and that's not too bad. Not too bad. It could have been a lot worse. All right, so we've got the Beach Patrol. That is Christopher's pick. We have Never Ending's pick, which is very unique, but that's kind of his thing of picking very unique cars to race. He picked this one, the Buzzerk, and it has a buzz saw right in the middle that rotates, and it kind of barely touches the ground. It didn't seem, when we checked on Wednesday, it didn't seem like it touched the ground enough to sort of impede the forward progress of the car or cause too much friction that it would slow the car down, but you never know with these things. The back part of the car comes to a pretty sharp point with that tail fin kind of right at the back. Right here comes to this point, and that is the only point of contact this car is going to have with the launching block. Now, usually I would say that's going to be a problem. That's a problem. But what we saw from the Dogfighter is that a car can have a very tight, small point of contact with the launching block, still do well. How the Dogfighter did it, I don't know. Is that going to transfer over to this car, the Buzzerk? I don't know. It is hard to tell. But we are going to end all the speculation pretty soon, because we are going to take these cars and have them on the racetrack. Now, the last car that was, let me see what the Buzzerk weighs. Buzzerk weighs in at 34.4 grams, so right in the middle of the sweet spot. And let's check out Roughshot's pick, which was the Surf Crate, and it is this sort of tiki themed hot rod. And when we put this in the wind tunnel, you know, it seemed like it should be fine. The air can pass through the front windshield area. Then it's open cabin, but the back is open. So the air should, in theory, just kind of flow through that open area. Now, what happens once the air gets in there? Because there is this seating area and cabin, will the air get trapped in there and kind of work to slow this car down, or will it just not matter? We're going to find out when this car hits the track. Yeah, and also with it being an open wheel car, we have to hope that it doesn't end up like our old friend Forky. Forky had one race on the track, hit that barrier, bent that axle, and that was that. Forky will never race again, and I hope that is not the same thing that happens with the Surf Crate. I hope the Surf Crate stays on the track, has fast runs, and we'll see exactly what's going to happen. The Tiki might have all the cars crash. Yeah, we're gonna find out. We are gonna find out. All right, so we've got our cars. We've got the Decidedly Go. We've got the 2023 that police was it a Charger? Yeah, the police Dodge Charger Pursuit. We've got the Honda Civic SI, and we have the Karma G5-6. So we are ready to go. And when we do go over to the track, this is what you are going to be seeing. If this is your first time watching an all about aerodynamics at the track live race, you are going to see our 3-camera view of our track. The cars are going to start in the launcher at the top of the screen on the left. I will give a countdown, 3, 2, 1, race. I will hit the switch. The cars will come firing out of the launcher down the track. They will pass out of the bottom of the screen on the left and show up at the top of the screen in the middle, the center section of our track. The cars will come from top to bottom. They will pass out of the bottom of the screen in the middle, show up at the top of the screen on the right. Our finish line camera, the cars will come flying down, cross the finish line, and the winning car will be indicated with a solid red light. A solid red light indicates the winning car. A flashing red light indicates the losing car. So solid red light, you won. Flashing red light, you lost. And the races are best 2 out of 3. The cars will switch lanes after each race. And one more thing to consider, something pretty important, especially with some of the cars that we're looking at. If a car crashes and leaves the track, no problem. The results of that race are thrown out. The cars are lined up again and start the race all over. If a car crashes twice consecutively, then that car is disqualified, because typically if a car crashes twice consecutively, there's some problem that isn't going to be solved by just rerunning the races. So you crash twice, you leave the track, you are done for the day. But it looks like we have everything we need. We've got the cars, we have the track, we have our rules. I think we are just about ready to go to the track. So I will gather up all of these cars and head over to the track, and we will see which car comes out on top. And I will do this, and we will be over there in 30 seconds. See you. Oh, let's see. Our center camera decided it needs to cool off. What's going on? Let me double check that. That would be the second camera. Huh. That's the first time we've ever had that one overheat. Let's see what's going on here. Get this camera back on. Notice how long it's been off. Just need to keep it on for long enough. To get through the race. All right, it's back on. And I just need to double check the audio. 1, 2. Yep, audio's good. All right, let's get this race moving. I'll keep an eye on that camera, and if we need to take a break for it to cool down, then that's what we'll do. Some of these cameras, because I am using iPhones in this situation, there was just an update, a big update that went out, and sometimes when the phones are doing those updates, they're using a lot of processing power and what have you, and new software and things like that, so they can overheat. It's not totally out of the ordinary, but usually we haven't had that problem with any of our track view cameras, but we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's see. First out of the gate, let's go. I don't want to go Matchbox versus Matchbox, because I do want to have those cars have a shot at trying to make it a little further into the tournament. So we'll go with the Dodge Charger Pursuit against the let's go up against that Civic, the Honda Civic. And this is a little, maybe a little kind of fast and furious action. We've got the Honda Civic be out there getting chased by this Dodge cop car. And the Matchbox cars are definitely more narrow than the Hot Wheels cars. This one doesn't want to stay in place, but I'm going to get it pushed in there. All right, here we go. First race of the day. We have the Honda Civic SI in lane 1. We have the Dodge Charger Pursuit Matchbox in lane 2. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. I love the Matchbox cars don't win, and obviously it lost that race. But for whatever reason, the wheels, the Matchbox wheels, they make this little kind of whining sound that's pretty unique and pretty cool. When they're going down the track, you can always tell it's a Matchbox car, but that is not going to get it done, not in that race. So let's go ahead and get these set up again. And we'll get the Matchbox cop car lined up in lane 1. And get this Honda Civic SI set up in lane 2. This is car doesn't want to press up against the launching block, but that is going to be absolutely necessary to guarantee we get a good solid race. Alright, Dodge Charger Pursuit, the Matchbox, is in lane 1, and we have the Honda Civic SI in lane number 2. Race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. And the Civic absolutely destroyed the Matchbox Charger, and that is how it goes. We now are down to just one Matchbox car. The first Matchbox couldn't even get out of the first round, but it's how it happens sometimes. Almost every time with a Matchbox car. All right, let's go. Let's try this Decidedly Go car against, you know what? No. We're going to go with this Beach Patrol. This big 1982 Beach Patrol is going to take on the other Matchbox. It's going to take on this Karma GS6. So we're going to find out, can the big Beach Patrol beat out a Matchbox car? Now we know that Matchbox cars tend not to be as fast, but the Beach Patrol weighs so much that first let me check and see. Am I going to need the... Oh yeah, we get to bust out our new acrylic cover, the one that has one higher side and one lower side, so we can have races like this with a taller car against a shorter car and not have to worry about one car having an advantage over the other. So the Beach Patrol truck is in lane 2. The Karma is in lane 1, trying to win one from Matchbox. So the Karma in lane 1, Beach Patrol in lane 2, race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. The Beach Patrol hung on and took the race. That was pretty close. You could see those cars were struggling. The Matchbox car just didn't really have the momentum. And then the Beach Patrol seemed to be losing some steam towards the back end of the track, which is what we see with heavier cars. But it held on and took the race. So we've got the Beach Patrol, old school, one race closer to moving on. It has to do it again. It has to prove it wasn't a fluke. And we may have, you know, the Matchbox cars at this point, I just don't know. I don't know what it is about them. But they're just not, they're built to look good. They're not built to race. It doesn't seem. But it's not over. It's got a shot. Just has to take two from this giant truck. This big, heavy Beach Patrol truck, which is now lined up in lane 1. The Karma is lined up in lane 2. Race 2, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Okay, Matchbox, I see you. So the Karma took the race. It was not quite as close as the first one. It didn't have, it didn't blow the doors off the Beach Patrol, but it also, the race was not what I would call close. So we are now going to go to the third race and see which of these cars. Neither one seems to really have anything. I'm not seeing anything from either one to suggest that either one is going to take the title today or take the championship, but hey, it's matchups. You just want to see good races, and anytime we can get to a third race, that means we've seen some good racing. So here we go. The Beach Patrol truck, which has flippers and a little oxygen tank there in the bed, is lined up in lane 2. And the Karma, the Matchbox Karma, is lined up in lane 1. So this is race number 3. Here we go. Beach Patrol lane 2, Karma lane 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh. That race was close like the first race, but you can see from the solid red light that the Matchbox, the Karma, took it. So we have a Matchbox car that's moving on. It barely beat a car that's about 13 grams heavier, but hey, a win is a win is a win. You got to take them where you can get them, especially if you're a Matchbox car, because Matchbox cars do not have the easiest time out here on our track. So we've got that Karma moving up along with the Civic. The Beach Patrol is going to sit down. Let's go with the Surf Crate versus the Decidedly Go. So the Magic 8-Ball car, which I need to check and see, can that fit in the regular? No, it cannot. So we will continue using our special little dome piece and special acrylic cover. And we will set up, since we've already got the height. Let's see. Let me ask so we've got the Surf Crate is going to be in lane 1. And the Decidedly Go, let's ask it a question. Is the Decidedly Go going to win this race? It says good. What does it say? Good outlook? Oh, outlook good. I'm reading it upside down. Outlook good. So I asked the Decidedly Go if it was going to win the race, and the answer came back, outlook good. So we'll see. So the Decidedly Go is going to be lined up in lane 2. The Surf Crate is in lane 1. Race 1, here we go. Three, two, one, race. Ooh. Surf Crate took it. Now what I did notice though, Surf Crate had a huge lead, and by the back end of the track, that lead started to shrink, which means that the Surf Crate started to slow down. That's fine because it had such a big lead in this race, but it's going to be something to keep an eye on if the Surf Crate moves forward, because with those, when you start getting to the faster cars, you can't afford to let up and slow down toward the back end, but that's exactly what we saw. So let's flip our custom cover over and get these cars lined up again. I will ask the Decidedly Go one more time. Are you going to take the next 2 races from the Surf Crate? This says most likely. So all the 3 times that we have consulted with the Decidedly Go, we've gotten these very positive messages. Yes, outlook good, and you know, it's thinking it's going to happen. So that's good. It's got a positive attitude and outlook. We're going to see if that actually translates into this race outcome. So here we go. We've got the Decidedly Go in lane 1. We've got the Surf Crate in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Surf Crate blew the doors off the Decidedly 8 and sunk the 8 ball in that corner pocket, and it will be heading back to the garage, and the Surf Crate will be moving on. So the Surf Crate looked pretty fast in that one. Didn't seem like it gave up any ground, not like it did in that first race. So we'll see what happens. Now that we've retired our 2 taller cars, we don't need the bigger cover anymore. All the cars are standard, and we will now have, we're down to the Civic SI, the Matchbox Karma, the Surf Crate, and the Buzzerk. We are going to race the Buzzerk against the Civic and see which car comes out on top. And the Buzzerk, never-ending pick. It is a very never-ending type of pick. Just checking to make sure we don't need to use the taller cover. We don't. Never-ending picked the dogfighter. Never-ending picked the that tank. Never-ending picked. There was a World War II bomber that he picked. Bomber card. So he picked the Turbo Rooster. He's got a history of just picking these outrageous fantasy cars, but it's worked out. It's worked out more than once. Will that work out again with the Buzzerk? We're going to find out right now. The Buzzerk is lined up in lane number 2. We have the Honda Civic SI lined up in lane 1. This is race 1. Here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. Ooh. That was close. I had to look at the lights to see which car came out on top, but that would be the Honda Civic SI. Took that first race from the Buzzerk, and we are going to switch lanes and see if it can do it again. If it can, it will move on. If not, we will have a third and decisive race. Buzzerk. Can't tell. It's hard to tell if that, if the buzzsaw portion of the car is moving, because we checked on Wednesday and it kind of barely touches the track. Not enough to act like a wheel, but it just brushes against it just slightly. And so it didn't seem like it was the kind of contact that would slow the car down. But in a race as close as that one was that we just saw, you know, any little thing could be the difference. And we're going to see. All right, we've got the Buzzerk in lane 1. We've got the Honda Civic SI in lane 2. Race number 2, here we go. Three, 2, 1, race. The Honda took it that time with a much bigger margin of victory, and we are down to 3 cars. We are down to the Honda Civic SI. We are down to the Surf Crate, And we are down to the Matchbox Karma GS6. We are going to see if the Matchbox car can make it to the finals. That's a big deal for a Matchbox car. So we're going to go Surf Crate versus Karma and see what happens. Get these cars lined up for this semi-final matchup. I'm going to put the Surf Crate in lane 1. And we are going to put the Karma in lane 2. And we are ready to go. Race number 1. Surf Crate lane 1, Karma lane 2. 3, 2, 1, race. The Matchbox, the Karma took it. The Karma is trying to be one of the very, very, very few Matchbox cars to take multiple races and actually make it to the finals. That is a huge achievement for a Matchbox car, but it's not over yet because we are about to switch lanes. And once we switch lanes, we are going to find out if that was a fluke, if maybe the Surf Crate got a bad launch, or we're going to find out if in fact the Karma's just faster. Surf Crate's lining up in lane 2. Open wheel Tiki Rod Surf Mobile. And the Karma, the Matchbox representative, is in lane 1. Surf Crate lane 2. Race 2, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Okay, Surf Crate got back on its game, took that one by a lot, and now we're going to a third and final race. Is the Surf Crate going to be able to knock off this Matchbox competitor and make it to the finals? We are going to find out. We are going to find out. This is what I like to see. Going down to a third and final race. Best 2 out of 3. There's so many factors, things that can happen. The kind of launch a car gets. Is the launch consistent? Is the car moving straight down the track? All these things come into play. So this time we have the Karma in lane 2. We have the Surf Crate loaded up into lane 1. Race number 3, here we go. Surf Crate lane 1, Karma lane 2. Race 3, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. Woo! The Surf Crate held on. Those cars were neck and neck, nose to nose, but the Surf Crate pulled it out. Good run, good attempt from the Karma. Good showing for the Matchbox, for Team Matchbox. But once again, Team Matchbox comes up short and will not be in the finals. Our finals matchup is going to be the Karma. I'm sorry, no, not the Karma. It's going to be the Surf Crate versus the Civic SI. So let's get those cars lined up and see what we've got. We've got the Civic lined up in lane 1. We have the Surf Crate set up in lane number 2. This is our final. Surf Crate lane 2, Honda Civic SI lane 1. Race 1, here we go. 3, 2, 1, race. That Civic just put the hammer down and never gave up that lead from the beginning. But that was just one. In order to move on, you have to take 2. So which of these cars is going to be the representative against the BlitzSpeeder? Right now, It looks like the Honda, but we are going to switch lanes, and we're going to see if the Surf Crate can come back. Surf Crate's got to take 2 races in a row, which is not unusual. I've seen cars do that in the past. Not a big deal, but it's got to happen. So let's go ahead, get this Civic set up in lane 2. Surf Crate, lane 1. Surf Crate can't have any room for error. It's got to do its thing right now. It can't give up that lead. It's got to have a great launch, get the lead, hold the lead, and force a 3rd race. So here we go. Surf Crate lane 1, Honda Civic SI lane 2, race number 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Oh no. The Surf Crate, why'd you do it? The Surf Crate went up on 2 wheels, and then 2 of those wheels went on the barrier, and it rode the barrier for a little while. Then it got off the barrier and got down and proceeded down the track, and proceeded to lose because it was already behind. We're going to run that again because that was a little weird. Now, technically, by the absolute letter of the law, the Surf Crate should be disqualified, but unless cars are clearly not capable of making it down the track, I don't like to have cars go out like that. So we'll just set this up again and see if the Surf Crate can stay on. Well, it stayed on the track. That was the problem. It should have just crashed and left the track. Although, I'm happy it didn't leave the track because it's an open wheel car and I don't want the axles to get smashed and bent. So, it's fine how it was. Alright, so we've got the Surf Crate set up again in lane 1. Putting the Civic SI in lane 2. Race number 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. Good race, kind of close-ish, but the Civic took it. The Civic is today's tournament winner, and the Civic now has the honor of facing the BlitzSpeeder for the fastest in fleet title. And is it possible that the Civic, a car that basically was not the car that I ended up with the Civic as a result of buying a different car. It was in the pack, and I hadn't considered it, and I pulled it out of just a group of cars that had been set aside. That's how we arrived at the BlitzSpeeder. The BlitzSpeeder came out of a bag of loose cars and ended up as our champion. Can the Civic do the same? The BlitzSpeeder's lined up in lane 1, the Civic in lane 2. Race number 1. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. BlitzSpeeder ran that race like it had somewhere to be and something else to do. It was like, let's just get this out of the way right now. It was an absolute total destruction that we saw in race 1. But maybe the Civic got a bad launch or blah, blah, blah. But I have a feeling that what really happened is the BlitzSpeeder just did a BlitzSpeeder type of move and blew its competition off the track. I was saying earlier, hey, the BlitzSpeeder isn't what it used to be. The BlitzSpeeder doesn't have that same aura about it. And the BlitzSpeeder said, yeah, sure, okay. So here we go. BlitzSpeeder's now lined up in lane 2. And if I can get the Civic pressed up against the launching block, it will be lined up in lane number 1. Civic, lane 1. BlitzSpeeder, lane 2. race number 2. Here we go. Three, two, one, race. I mean, the BlitzSpeeder just opened up on that car really from the beginning. That was whew, just an obliteration. So let me grab the BlitzSpeeder and the Honda and get those back into the garage and take a look at the winners, the losers, and something else interesting that we have coming up. So let me grab those cars. I'll be right back. So the BlitzSpeeder remains our fastest in fleet car. That race today wasn't really that close, but we had some good races leading up to it. The Matchbox, the Karma, actually kind of represented pretty well for the Matchbox line, and that Dodge that Dodge Charger Pursuit, not so much. The Beach Patrol came out and did pretty well for a big, heavy truck. I don't know how much we could have expected from it, given the size, but it wasn't the worst performance. But at the end of the day, the BlitzSpeeder is on top. And one of the things we were talking about with the BlitzSpeeder is, especially on Wednesday, when we're really looking closely at the design of the car, is the BlitzSpeeder's overall design. And we know that when we put it in the wind tunnel, the air hits the front, comes up over the hood, hits the windshield, hits the roof line, and then goes straight back to this area, and there's no drop off on the roof line. So the airflow hits this roof line, pretty much stays attached to the body of the car, goes right back. These two channels here seem to funnel the air back right to those two openings right beneath the wing, and everything about the design just suggests that the design has a huge role to play and why the BlitzSpeeder is so successful. We have used other BlitzSpeeders and had BlitzSpeeder versus BlitzSpeeder races, and the results were close. So this BlitzSpeeder still won, but the races were really close. So it says that this BlitzSpeeder, it's not this particular car that's special. It's the overall design of the BlitzSpeeder, that when it's racing on our track, it's able to reduce the impact of drag. It gets good solid launches, which ultimately reduces the amount of friction from bouncing side to side. And that's part of the reason why we believe it wins. Well, I asked a question on Wednesday, and I asked it with this other BlitzSpeeder, because this is the version that is in stores now, is what would happen with this BlitzSpeeder if it didn't have this canopy here. And since this is currently in the stores, I went and I picked up a second one yesterday. So we now have two of the exact same BlitzSpeeders. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to crack off and take off this purple, this covering. And then it will just be an open driver's area. And we're going to see what happens, because one of the things we always notice in the wind tunnel is that airflow from hood, windshield, roof, off the back. But what happens if we remove this piece? Now what happens with that airflow? Does it continue to go from here, from the hood, back to this area? If other cars we've seen have been any indicator, then what's going to happen is this air is going to just start to swirl around here. It'll create lower pressure, and that should impact the overall performance of this car. So that is what we are going to see next week. So probably tomorrow, I'll come on YouTube and just go through the process of getting this removed. It might be pretty straightforward. It might pop out, or I might have to cut it and grind it down to get it out. But one way or another, this part's coming out. Then on Wednesday, we're going to put this in the wind tunnel, see if we can see any noticeable difference between the two cars. And then next Saturday, we'll put them on the track and see what we can find out. Which of these BlitzSpeeders is going to perform better? The one with this whole canopy over the driver's area, or the one without? So it's just more questions that we're going to try and answer, because why not? And it's always trying to come up with some experiment to run, and this is the latest one. So that is what is coming up. We've had a kind of a full Hot Wheels day out at the Legends Tour, and I will get that video. I'll get that video posted, and then this video I'll be adding in time codes. So anyone who's watching after the fact, all you have to do is go to the live tab on our YouTube page, find the video you want to watch, check in the description, and I'll have the time code. You can jump to whichever review you want to see, or you can jump straight to the races. Whatever you choose to do, it's all right with me. It's all Hot Wheels. It's all fun. So I got to start digging back in the crates, because I'm doing a lot of going to the store, buying a Hot Wheels car, and then next thing I know, putting it right immediately on the track. Meanwhile, I've got cars in storage that are just sitting there waiting to be pulled out. So I think I'm going to make it a point to go into storage, get some of those cars, bring those out next week, and we are going to start working through the storage bins. So that is that. So we'll be here Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, and next Saturday we'll be back here at the usual time, 11 a.m. Pacific, for At The Track Live. Information about our science program can be found in the link in the bio at AA Aerodynamics on Instagram, or aaerodynamics.com. All the information you need is there. So for All About Aerodynamics, for At The Track Live, for Wind Tunnel Wednesday, I am Coach James, and until next time, I will see you at the races.